The moment everything changed wasn't a dramatic, tearful confession. It was something small, a strange message on a phone screen, a look that lingered a second too long, a late-night silence that felt heavy and unfamiliar. Suddenly, the air in the room felt different, charged with something you couldn't name. In just a few seconds, the solid ground of certainty crumbled into the quicksand of suspicion. Shock, when it first hits, isn't loud. It's quiet. It feels unreal, like you're watching a scene from a movie. Not Libin Italiano. Your brain, in a desperate act of self-preservation, goes into denial. It's a protective reflex, a shield against a truth that's too painful to accept right away. Then, the painful rewind begins. You start replaying moments, searching for clues, and you realize the signs were always there. The suddenest fierce privacy around a phone that was once shared openly. The growing emotional distance that was always explained away as stress from work. The simple, almost casual act of flipping a phone face down on the table when you walked into the room. Conversations that, in hindsight, felt rehearsed, as if they were practicing their lines. The most heartbreaking part of it all. You saw it. Deep down, you felt that something was off. You just didn't want to believe it. You chose to trust the familiar narrative over the unsettling evidence. This leads you to the most bewildering question. How can someone look you in the eyes, say, "I love you," and still be living a double life? Psychologically, it's a complex dance of compartmentalization. The mind builds walls, separating guilt from behavior, allowing them to exist in two separate realities. The attention from someone new becomes an intoxicating escape, a powerful distraction from problems within the relationship. They rationalize their actions, telling themselves it's temporary, that it doesn't mean anything, that it's not hurting anyone if no one knows. But here's the crucial truth. Affairs don't start in bedrooms. They start in unmet emotions. They are born from the silent cries for connection, validation, or excitement that went unheard. Then comes the confrontation. That moment when the unspoken is finally brought into the light. Your voice trembles, even as you try to sound strong. You're met with half-truths, defensive explanations, and the silence between your questions and their answers stretches into an eternity, thick with everything that's been hidden. And then, the moment their eye contact breaks, that's when you know. It's a silent confession, more powerful than any words. Sometimes, the most painful part isn't the physical act of the affair itself. It's the slow, gut-wrenching realization of how long it had been happening emotionally. How long you had been alone in the relationship without even knowing it. You see, the real shock isn't just the affair. That's only the tip of the iceberg. The deeper betrayal is the web of lies spun to maintain the secret. It's the calculated secrecy, the stolen moments, the shared jokes you weren't a part of. It's the emotional withdrawal that began long before you ever found out, making you feel insecure and crazy for questioning it. And this leads to the hardest truth of all. Most affairs begin with a sudden burst of uncontrollable desire for someone new. They begin with a slow, creeping disconnection from the person they are with. It's a symptom of a deeper problem that was ignored for far too long. The psychological aftermath is devastating. Trust doesn't just break. It shatters into a million tiny pieces that seem impossible to put back together. The betrayed partner's self-worth plummets. They begin to question everything. Their judgment, their attractiveness, their very reality. Was any of it real? Meanwhile, the unfaithful partner often drastically underestimates the depth of the damage they've caused, still caught in their own bubble of justification. One thing is certain, the relationship can never go back to before. That innocence is gone forever, because once the illusion of perfect trust breaks, you can't unsee what you've seen. The world you knew is gone, and you're left to navigate the ruins. If you or someone you know is struggling with the pain of betrayal, remember that healing is possible, but it takes time and support. Please consider reaching out to a therapist or a support group. You don't have to go through this alone. Thanks for watching.